A Russian army which hails the destruction of Grozny as victory. The ruins of General Dadaev's presidential palace standing as a grotesque monument of conquest. And the lost soul of a population left with nothing. Into all of this helplessness, a small medical team from the British Merlin organisation have joined a desperately ill-resourced aid effort.
The first time you come into Grozny, it's bad and it's really quite unbelievable what you see. It's only when you've been in several days and you realise that this nightmare is a continuous nightmare for the people that live here, that they're not going to wake up from this.
Dr. Rob Bennett is one of the few trying to assess the health needs of Grozny's survivors in their shattered homes. With malnourishment, a lack of drugs for chronic illness and the risk of disease, the task is colossal. And every day brings new despair for his team. This used to be the garden of an old people's home. It's now a cemetery. Since the war came to Grozny, Malika Teshinskaya has buried more than 30 of the old folk in shallow graves. She tells the team's medical coordinator, Dr. Michael Schubert, how all the staff left and she's the only one caring for 32 old folk. Only a few are able to leave their beds. They live in appalling conditions. There's no sanitation, no medical care, and the only food is flour and water noodles. She says the people are simply waiting to die.
The situation is very serious, and I'm very shocked from what I saw here. I've been for more than 4 weeks here in Grozny now in order to do a medical assessment for our organization. And I've never seen that before, and we certainly have to do something immediately.
The Merlin Group have managed to set up a clinic to assist the few remaining doctors in Grozny. They estimate that 15,000 of the city's estimated 100,000 remaining population need medical attention. 10 out of Grozny's 14 hospitals were destroyed. There simply is no health system here, and with the onset of summer, thousands of bodies lying in shallow graves and an unknown number buried in the rubble, the risk of disease is high. Food is scarce, there is free distribution, but demand outstrips supplies.
It's all down to each individual's strength as to whether or not they get a loaf of bread. Every facet of ordinary life in Grozny has been destroyed. All that remains is a human will to survive.
And with no running water, the people often have to walk miles to aid points for their supplies. The destitution of the people is being catalogued by the Merlin Group. Here, one of their nurses meets a woman who's just returned to what remains of her home.
It was a beautiful city, and now it's terrible. It seems unreal.
The depression hanging over the people of Grozny will not go away. They see no future, and they're given no assurances as Russia's war machine rolls on to other parts of Chechnya. Andrew Simmons, News at 10 in Grozny.